What's going on, guys? Island Living here. Just another beautiful day in paradise. Today we've got some top 5 for you. This is the top 5 pros of living in the Caribbean. Are you ready? Let's get it. Now, before I get into this top 5 list, let me set this up for you. This is going to be based on my experience of 13 plus years living in the Caribbean on a couple of different islands. The islands I've lived on are territories of the United States, but I've spent significant time in islands that are outside of the possession of the United States. So what I'm trying to do with this top 5 list and the next top 5 list that's going to drop tomorrow is the Caribbean in general, the Caribbean as a whole. If you stay tuned, you like this content, do me a solid, subscribe to this channel, Island Living, at Island-Living, and I'd appreciate it. Share it with your friends, your family, anybody who's thinking about moving to the Caribbean. Hopefully you find this content to be really good and resonate with you or somebody you may know that's looking to live in the Caribbean. So the next videos are going to come out are actually going to be about living in different islands, because every island is different than the other. No two islands are alike, even in the same place, right? The BVIs, right? Tortola is a whole lot different than Virgin Gorda. St. Croix is a whole lot different than St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands, etc. So again, we're going to do these top 5 videos. We're going to do the top 5 pros. We're going to do the top 5 cons. This one, we're kicking it off with the top 5 pros of living in the Caribbean. Countdown from 5 to number 1. You ready? Let's do it. Number 5 is going to be the cost of living. So why do I mean cost of living is a pro? Well, it kind of greatly depends on which island you're living on. Again, the U.S. Virgin Islands are very expensive. There are some exclusive islands that the cost of living is very high. But there are other islands in the Caribbean where the cost of living is pretty reasonable. I live in Puerto Rico. Part of the reason why I choose to move from the Virgin Islands to Puerto Rico is the cost of living here is way less. I come from the Midwest in the States, which has already a lower cost of living than a lot of places in the States. Puerto Rico, to me, is on par, if not maybe a little bit cheaper than living in Ohio. So something to keep in mind. The Dominican Republic next door. A lot of Americans are going there to retire because it's a cheap cost of living. Jamaica is a cheap cost of living. There's other islands, certainly less infrastructure, maybe less developed, but there are islands where it is actually somewhat affordable or very affordable depending on your lifestyle and what you do and where you want to go. So cost of living comes in at number 5. Like I said, that's probably the most controversial on this list. Number 4 is going to be colors. The colors in the Caribbean are second to none when we think about those turquoise blue waters, those white sand beaches, and then the greens. I'm here in the foothills of the rainforest in Puerto Rico, and the greens are just amazing everywhere. It's stunning. And then the colors. Every time of the year in the Caribbean, there is a different flowering tree. You can go from yellows to purples to oranges to reds, and it is just an absolutely stunning scenic view at all times. The other thing I love about the Caribbean when we talk about colors is really the colors in the way people dress, the colors of the homes. I love the homes that are painted really brightly in Caribbean colors, the limes and the turquoise blues and the pinks. There's so many great colors in the Caribbean. If you have a favorite color that you see a lot in the Caribbean, drop that comment down below and let us know about the color and where you see it in the Caribbean and how that is special and really jumps out to you. All right. Number 3 is going to be climate. I mean, look at this climate today. It's just another beautiful day in paradise. It's just a consistent climate year-round. Mid to upper 70s in the winter, mid to upper 80s in the summer. It actually gets more hot and humid in the States, especially in the south, the southern part of the States, than it does in the islands. We always have these nice trade winds, these breezes that are blowing through, especially if you get away from the coast, you get a little bit of elevation. It cools things down a few degrees, and that makes a big difference. It is absolutely perfect weather, and what is not to love about the climate of the Caribbean? All right, number 2 on this list is going to be community. And what I mean by community is no matter which island you choose to move to, you're going to find your people. You're going to find a community of folks. And again, that may be another expat community, especially if you're outside the United States. People that are living there, that are from the States, that have common interests and passions and pursuits as you do. There's a reason why you're all living on the same island. And that community is a strong bond. We talk about island family. Just connecting you, because a lot of us in certain communities, there is no family here, right? Your friends become your family. I think there was a mobile phone commercial years ago about the family, but that's really true. Your family supports you in all ways. You know, your car breaks down, you need a ride to the airport. You know, you need somebody to stand in line at some government office for you, all those sorts of things, right? Your island family is really special, and the community is really special. All right, that brings us to the number one pro of living in the Caribbean, and it's somewhat related to community, but it's culture. The culture of the Caribbean people, I think, is absolutely amazing. Everybody's just having a great time. You know, they're working hard, they're playing hard, they're just having a great time, enjoying life, making the most of every day, making it count, just enjoying life. The people here, especially where I'm living now in the island of Puerto Rico, are so warm and inviting. We live away from some of those gated communities that a lot of the expats choose to live in. And the people, all of our neighbors, they've just taken us in and treat us as family. They invite us to their homes for dinner and drinks, and we just all hang out, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful culture in the Caribbean. And I love the culture of the Caribbean. I'm going to go into explaining on a future video a little bit more about why I think the culture is so special, and I'll elaborate more on an upcoming video. But right now, for this top 5 list, you've got your top 5 pros of living in the Caribbean, island living, what it's all about. Stay tuned. Tomorrow we're going to drop another video. It's going to be the top 5 cons of living in the Caribbean. So that's going to be another interesting video. Stay tuned for that, and look for more content as we go through the rest of this year. Thanks, everybody. Peace out.